Let's blast off. Let's talk about it. Is Taylor Swift sigh up? Says Fox News. Right wingers think black pilots and DEI caused plane malfunction with no evidence. Dude, we're so back. We're so back to like culture war phenomena too. It's awesome. Prepping for the ICJ court case. Okay. Campaign mania on the trail. Motherfuckers deserve an Oscar for this TikTok? What is this? Oh, I've seen this before. It's pretty stupid. But it's funny. Will the ICJ case be live streamed? Yes, but we're not going to watch it because that would be really stupid. Nothing can prepare you about this clip about January 6th. Nandre, there is 0% chance I trust you. Okay? Are you going to watch the replay of the court case? I think it's 11 a.m., 12 p.m. EST tomorrow on Friday. No, probably not. I mean, I'll watch bits and pieces of it, like the important stuff. But I won't watch it live, most likely. Nandre, I do not trust you. Okay? You destroyed the bond of trust that I have. And no amount of Wagyu steaks that you send my way is going to repair this bond of trust that you defiled. You understand me? Here, I'll click on it. Here, okay.
HBO has a documentary called The Insurrectionist Next Door. And I'm going to show you a scene that I would have never expected in life. And I almost broke my ribs from laughing so hard.
Okay, you know what? You're back on the good list, okay? Don't abuse this. You're back on the good list. Do not abuse this. Do not become naughty again.
Please hold.
And we ended up being in DC on the same day, seeing that there was a protest, and we're like, well, we've never been to a protest. I've heard about all these Black Lives Matter protests and all these other protests that can end up getting violent. So, you know, a little bit of forethought on my end was at least like, I wanted to be able to be in protect her or get her out of a situation because I'm a very strong individual myself. So I knew if worse things came to worse, I could pick up and run. And I've learned this because of my parkour.
What?
Day in, day out, doing parkour.
This cannot be real. Cannot be real. No.
He said it's just natural to me, dude. I just do parkour sometimes. Yeah, I'm just super sick with it, you know? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's awesome.
What does that do to your ankle bracelet? Let's see.
Oh
my God!
Oh, that's a phenomenal reveal at the end of that. Oh my Lord. Oh, that's so good. Bro got hit with the ankle bracelet. He accidentally arrived at January 6th and got arrested for doing too much parkour. It seems like they arrested him for being really fucking cool. Like, am I wrong? Like, the cops were like, oh man, the FBI was like jealous of his skills, I think. And it seems like one of those cases where you know the producer didn't ask him to do all that. Okay? You just know he was the one who voluntarily brought all of this up and was like, want to see some really sick tricks? And it's one of those situations where you can't really put him in jail because he'll escape. He's got parkour. So they are just like, we can't contain him anyway, so we might as well hit him with the ankle bracelet. Like, no jail can contain him. No jail can contain him. He would probably teach all the other prisoners how to also be super sick. I love it because he's doing it so hard his ass is sweating, by the way. You can see it. Like, look. You can see it on the, like, his ass is sweating. He's sweating his ass off. Literally sweating his ass off. That's how hard he's parkouring for HBO.
This cannot be real. Cannot be real.
What the fuck world?
No.
It's like parkour man, don't do it. Parkour Germa, don't do it. Your ass so fat. Your move's too good. They'll kill you, parkour Germa. Don't go on January 6th. Parkour Germa. Don't go to January 6th. They'll kill you. He's talking about draining the wrong swamp. That's crazy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no.
What does that do to your ankle biter? That's it.
This is what happens when Quirked Up White Boys busses it down with a style far too sexual. I think this guy shouldn't be in prison, and he shouldn't even be under house arrest. You guys know I'm very, like, not to get all Roman Empire with it, but I do think that if you have, like, if you can demonstrate impressive physical feats, like, you should not be under any legal scrutiny, right? Like, you should be able to parkour your way out of it. Like, in the court case, like, you sit in front of the judge, and the judge's like, what are you doing on January 6th? Like, and you're like, super sweet flips, want to see, and then you pull a 780 in the court, it's done. The judge is like, you're free to go, sir. You're free to go. Okay? Parkour is not a crime. It's not. And sometimes you're going to be parkouring at January 6th. Government should hire him like they do hackers. What are they going to do? He's a white hat parkour guy now. He went from being a black hat parkour guy January 6th to white hat parkour. Yeah. They tried putting his brother in jail and he escaped. Okay, that's the that's the other guy. The guy who there was a massive manhunt for. This one blows my mind. Like, I guess, speaking of which, like, I guess there's Twitch streamers out there like Hutch, who I used to play Call of Duty with, who's completely brain broken now, who says I'm not serious enough about January 6th.
Bullshit. And yeah, there were clips of Hassan asking, Vosh and XQC to, like, rein in their audience or their mods or whatever. I just found that to be so deeply cynical. The truth is that if Hassan would have pushed back and told...
Wait, you guys sent this clip to me because I thought Hutch was going to talk about January 6th. Anyone that immediately brings up, like, that drama stuff and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, Hassan doesn't rein in his audience while he's asking for other people to rein in their audiences. Like, this is a deeply unserious person. I just got drama farmed for no reason. I thought this was going to be like actual political coverage, not like what people consider to be political coverage, which is just crying about, like, petty streamer drama. No, he's saying you would have stopped January 6th. I'm not going to watch the rest of it. That was silly. This is your new enemy? No, no one is my enemy. I have no enemies. Hutch is not my enemy. I love Hutch. Okay? That's my brother in bald. I don't like his politics. I think he's like exactly the type of liberal that's like, I care significantly more about, like, leftist content creators than I do about, like, actual news coverage. And anyone who does that, in my opinion, is, like, deeply unserious. But, you know, I don't believe that he's a bad person deep down inside. I don't. And I think that, you know, I just wish he wouldn't be like that. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't really care, though, overall. In no way is Hutch ill-intended. No, I think he's a little bit brain broken, though. People cry about how you ban so many chatters and then turn around and say you don't rein in your chatters. Brain rot Redditor types need to pick a lane. Yeah, the thing is, like, about reining in your audience and people saying, like, that's hypocritical is, like, I did try to rein in my audience with Ethan. Nobody actually ever gave a damn about that at all, though. The problem was what Ethan was saying was identical to what many people that I have criticized were saying. And at a certain point, what I was trying to get across to him was, like, yeah, if you say these things, like, it doesn't matter how much I ban people. Like, there are going to be people who have these thoughts independently about you. It's completely outside of my hands. And that was, like, not seen by anyone for some reason. Like, nobody wanted to understand that was the point I was trying to make there. And beyond that, I consistently told my community to not harass Ethan, and over again, talk about how it's stupid and unproductive, that Ethan is an ally in this, even if you don't agree with him 100% of the way, and that there's a lot of parasocial elements involved. But again, no one wants to be charitable in any meaningful way at that point. Like when you want to farm drama, you don't want to hear what my perspective is. You want to humiliate me, and you want to be like, look, he's hypocritical because I've already been identified as an ideological enemy to you, and it's a good way to get your audience to be galvanized. It's sad. It is what it is. I'm not like getting bogged down here or being stun locked at all. It's just it is what it is. All right. So yeah. Tunnels down. I repeat, tunnels down. No, I know. Dude, independent investigative reporter Brace Belden on the site, dude. He actually went and he touched crate. He touched grate. He touched grass and he touched grate. Wait, what happened with Ethan? Nothing happened with Ethan. It's just like people were farming content off of like me and Ethan's conversations about Israel Palestine endlessly, and saying like Hassan is so hypocritical. Yes, dude. I ask. The point is this. A lot of the things that Hutch says, and a lot of the things that a lot of like liberal content creators say, XQC's community would probably be against as well in a similar capacity. And they wouldn't like it if like XQC's community was aware of Hutch and was like constantly calling him a libtard and just like shitting on him over and over again. Saying he's even a pedophile for defending trans people if he defends trans people. You know what I mean? Like, they would not feel too great about that as well. So if we're talking about this on ideological boundaries, I don't think he would appreciate that. And asking for someone that you know personally to stop using you as a cudgel and stop using you as like the main villain, which XQC definitely did. XQC definitely routinely used me as like a villain in his own community, even if he doesn't personally believe in any of this stuff. That was very different to the way I was trying to handle the Ethan situation. But so many people just refuse to see that charitably and just go, you're bad. You're a bad guy. And I hate you. Would you consider having Hutch on the broadcast? Sure. I don't know what we would be arguing about, but anyway, blast off, chat. Let's do it. We stop talking about Hutch and start talking about how you're going to dizzle your way to China with TrueAnon. Dude, I want to go to China with Brace and the Aussie boys. It would be so fire. It feels like your commentary on the conflict has aged quite well. It reflects what has been going on and continues to go on. I love Ethan a lot, long-time fan, but his commentary in those debates has not been representative of the real world scenario. I mean, he's fine. All right, let's move on. All right. Also, Hassan, I was watching a Vice documentary, old Vice documentary on January 6th. I saw my brother. That's awesome. Oh, the thing I was going to say about dual streaming before I move on to other stuff was I have the potential to be able to dual stream. And if I do that, I'm trying to figure out a way on how I can multicast on OBS to both my YouTube page and also my Twitch page, while the YouTube page will most likely feature the actual debate, right? You're a little too enthusiastic about China for me. They're a great example of how a planned economy can work, but as far as my support for them goes, I can't overlook a lot of the other shit that they do. Okay, so then you and I are in agreement on China. Yeah. You just described my position on China. Well, you said you're a little too overly enthusiastic. Anyway, so you have to use a third-party restreaming service. I've tried local multi-streaming, and it's way too unreliable for your internet connection, in my opinion. So, yeah, I don't know how to do it, but I also don't know how. I need to figure out how to do a multicast situation, but I also want to do a multicast where there's two tracks. Okay? Hasanabi Clips Complex CEO, bro. YouTube is really sensitive when it comes to the things you're talking about. They terminated 2 of my clip channels for spreading misinformation. Yeah, you're probably getting mass targeted, my friend. That's what it is. And you have no recourse because you have a random clip channel. That can't happen. You need official permission from the CC? What are you talking about? Just open 2 OBS instances, lol. No, but wait, really? Aiden, can I do it like that, you think? Like if I open another OBS instance, would it work like that? Or are you kidding? Are you joking? So like that would make it so easy. So then I would just like eliminate the desktop audio on like the OBS instance here and open up the desktop audio on the OBS instance on the other side. Use this, like, so if I'm on Twitch, imagine I'm on Twitch. This is what you see. It's me watching the debate. Okay. It's me watching the debate. And then on the other, if you go to the YouTube page, you can see the debate like this. This is what you would see on my YouTube stream. Oh, the problem there is my upload bandwidth, though. I suspect, like, upload would be double, right? Don't you have a business line? How shit is your internet? Business line doesn't change the reality that it's still bad. You can set up different audio outputs to different streams through OBS audio settings. I use Streamlabs and OBS, and you can have up to 8 tracks you can stream, but I don't think you can have different tracks. So I could even technically, I could even utilize another thing. I could even utilize the OBS multi-track streaming functionality for audio, so you would hear the debate audio, but it wouldn't show up on the VOD for at least the Twitch streaming. Nick would be able to help you with this much better than chat. You're better off talking to him. If you have a laptop, just run one off each PC. I have a second PC here as well. What's the upside to this? The upside of this would be that I can live react to the debate on a platform that has better fair use restrictions, like YouTube. 5-6 yaşındaki çocukların seks kölesi olarak kullanıldığı Epstein adası hakkında konuşmayacak mısın? Kardeş, Türkler yeni öğrendi galiba bu Epstein olayını. Ben yıllardır konuşuyorum Epstein'le ilgili. Yani konuşmayacak mısın ne demek amına koyayım? Ben bunu var ya yıllardır cover ediyorum. Yıllardır konuştuğum bir konu bu. Siz yeni öğrendiniz galiba. Onlar Türk çocukları mı? Ha ondan. Türkiye'de zannediyorlar ki Epstein Türk çocuğu yakalamış. Ondan mı diyorsunuz? Bunu duydum daha önce. Bunun ne kadar doğru olduğunu bilmiyorum, onu söyleyeyim. Some of us only have one PC as on. I have multiple PCs. This is my job, chatter. I also have like thousands of dollars worth of filming equipment in here in this room. I don't know if you know this, but this is like a whole production, right? I mean, it's not a flex. It's like my job. Speaking of which, one of the PCs, the Big Red, someone's going to be using Big Red soon. Someone, my Turkish brother, Tarık, coming to Los Angeles. Very excited for that. No fiber, though? Well, there's always limitations. No, they're saying they won't be able to watch both streams at the same time. You can stream it in 4K, 2K, 1080p, 780, depending on the connected person's PC, I thought. There are multiple RTMP outputs plugins for the OBS. There's a plugin to stream multiple RTMP servers concurrently. It's able to share. Yeah, but I don't want a multiple RTMP plugin. I don't want to concurrently. I don't want to multicast in the same. I don't want to multicast the same stream. I want to multicast the same stream. It's still me, right? But I want there to be some differences. Does that make sense? Why are you promoting Alex Jones's new game on stream? Lol, what? You want different streams, scenes stream basically. Yes, because you might be getting technical enough. You need a dedicated PC for pushing it. I don't think so. I think Aiden actually gave a brilliant suggestion where I think Aiden gave a brilliant suggestion. If I can do 2 instances of OBS, as long as my bandwidth can handle it, maybe I limit maybe I limit the bit rate to like 5K or maybe 4K, lower the quality a little bit. You know what I mean? I could do it. Let's internet speed test this bad boy real quick. See what my upload is. My download is insane, right? My download is like 630. And my upload is pretty good too. It's 32 megabits per second. Obviously, it's terrible. It's laughable in comparison to like what it should be. But 33 should be enough to handle 2 streams at the same time. And that's what I'm thinking. This is the new Hasanabi content. Type tech support for the future. Yeah. What are you trying to do? What I'm trying to do is multicast to both YouTube and also to Twitch at the same time. You can do with the ATM Vertical plugin. You can have 2 different sets of scenes and canvases that you can stream to different platforms. Ooh, I don't know if I want to do plugins. We'll see. Would you have time to run a practice stream? Bytes, not bits. 8 bits in a byte. What? Was that a JoJo reference? No, it's actually a One Piece reference, but it's a JoJo reference too. Oh, also, I'll say this much. Sanji's family, assassin family, what is it? Germa 66. They're literally JoJo coded. They're so JoJo coded. Overall. I think a switch instead of a router will raise your upload speed. Read Aiden's message. Bro, you have a 4090 and run Google Chrome. You don't need a supercomputer. You just need a good internet connection. I agree. I think it's fine. Germa 006. Did you like the minx? Yeah, I love the minx. Run one on the Fab Top and ask for the neighbor's Wi-Fi. Okay, good one. All right. Do you have a second location with a better upload you could hub off, i.e. single stream for you, then split it at place that has better, cheaper upload? No. Everybody calm down. We already figured it out. I think that the best possible thing to do is just like use my preset scenes that I already have on my OBS, which I like, right? And then run a second instance of OBS, change the background. Like, I kind of want to try it right now. I kind of want to see if I can like even open up a second instance. Like, let's see, OBS open. OBS is already running. Unless you meant to do this, please shut down any existing instances of OBS before trying to run a new instance. If you have OBS set to minimize to the system tray, please check to see if it's still running there. I say launch anyway. Oh, damn. And then I go to settings and I can change the service from Twitch to YouTube RTMPS, primary YouTube ingest server. And then I connect the account. Oh, man, that's sick. As someone who's done this second OBS instance, you may need another capture card, though. Split the camera and go. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, you're right. The cam doesn't work, though. The camera doesn't work. Unless I also wire it through virtual camera, which is pretty funny. Let's see if I can virtual camera it from the first virtual camera. Start the virtual camera. And see if I can substitute it on the second one. To OBS virtual camera. Oh my God, it worked. It worked. It's doubling up on the image though, which is crazy. Like there are, that wouldn't work most likely. Virtual camera would not work. I would need a second camera, hardwired second camera, because see, here's the problem with virtual camera. Are you ready for this? This is my second instance, right? Boom. Like, my second instance, actually, when I'm on, like, that's the problem with virtual camera. So that I can't do virtual camera. I do have another camera, though. Check the virtual camera output. You can choose what to show. No, you can't. It's not even a crop situation. I would just use the Kaya cam, I think. Select the source as being the camera instead of the whole scene. Wait, you can do that on virtual camera? Output type program default. Source. Output selection 4K. Wait. No, it's not working. It's still messed up. How do I do that? How do I get the OBS virtual cam to just take the camera? Output type, output selection, 4K? No. Oh, wait. It's not on that front. It's on this front. Program, default, preview scene, source. Stop virtual camera. And then output type is source. Output selection is just the camera, right? Start virtual camera. No. Oh, wait, it worked, I think. Hold up. It worked. Let's go, chatters. You cooked it. You cooked it good. Dude, look. See? Now I go back to the desktop and blammo. It's just taking it straight from the source. Boom. We could possibly do this. Now, the real issue is trying to figure out how I would even begin to find my RTMP. Like, that's how I stream to TikTok and Twitch, my guy. Hell yeah, brother. Hunter Biden just walked out on Congress as MTG started to speak. Your take? All the conservative outlets are blowing it up. We'll cover it in a second. We're TikTok multi-streamers, live streamers here, son. Get your knowledge up. Dude, I'm about to get my money up and not my funny up. You know what I'm saying? Like, no more funny, just money. It's literally on your YouTube. You just have to start a live stream on YouTube. Chatters know a little something about how to stream. Chatters know a little something about how to stream more than me. You need to create a stream in our YouTube Creator Studio, and then there you will have the RTMP code. Oh, that's how it works? Man, YouTube streaming is, like, not very good. When did you get clapped by copyright on YouTube? So here's how it works. Okay, chatters? How it works is this. YouTube also has... Yeah, Twitch is a really good live streaming platform. I mean, which, you know, of course, we're going to be talking about the layoffs and stuff. But I do think that... I do think that Twitch is a really, really good live streaming platform in comparison to all the other platforms out there. Straight up, I will say it. Now, on the technical front, it's better. On the community side, it's infinitely better, obviously. But simulcasting is not allowed in Twitch TOS. No, it is. It's not only allowed, but encouraged. Okay? So here's what's going on. So on YouTube, however... YouTube already has a built-in mechanism, right? YouTube already has a built-in mechanism for DMCA's copyright. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about. We've talked way too much shop for no particular reason right now. YouTube has a built-in mechanism for copyright, which means that it's usually very restrictive, not great. Right? However, one benefit to that is that they also have much better protections for copyright when it comes down to news commentary. Okay? They have a system to detect copyright, and there's a lot of like automation in that on that front, automation in that process. However, they also, for news and politics, they still have they have a better protection for news and politics because they have a better standard for what falls under fair use. Because I'm doing ceaseless commentary, on the debates in that situation, and it's not like a manual review process, there is not as strict a protocol. Like on Twitch, if you're live reacting to something and it's a violation of copyright, you get taken out, oftentimes for 48 hours. And I don't want to be banned for 48 hours for live reacting to a debate. I just wanted to mention that most part of the clip channels have never reported to me about getting strikes for misinfo. Generally, it's fake strikes or demonetized for reused content. Any clip channels that get strikes for terms of service can contact me. The VOD channels is a method of how to deal with those strikes, says Little Bear 36. Do you have moderation or moderation boss in YouTube chat, or else you need to disable YouTube chat? Yeah, I might have to disable YouTube chat this time around. Okay, but what is the new hair regimen? There's nothing. So does your contract allow it? As far as I understand, this would be like an additional allowance. Multi-streaming was not allowed, but I do think that this is like, for me at least. Hold on. All right. No Finn? Oh, I do take finasteride and whatever, like Rogaine and the generic finasteride. Say if they let you do it, you'll do 10 minutes of ads every 11 minutes? No. All right. Lamau, why? You're not even bald? Thank you. That's the point. Because I take supplements for it. Minoxidil and finasteride is what I take. How many milligrams? I don't have like a full-blown... I just break off the pill in half. Do you feel like it helped? I mean, I think it stopped. I think it stopped the balding. That's what I think. Wait, did I blast off? Oh, I did. Okay. All right, let's get started. I forgot that I already blasted off. Hassan, do you date? Yes, your mom. Have you ever seen that guy on TikTok who was basically bald and did self-care and grew so much hair? No. I don't use a derma roller. Live updates. Oh my God, breaking news. Judge denies Trump's request to speak at his... Oh, this is not breaking news. This is old news. Sorry. Wait, what? No, this is... What? Judge denies Trump request to speak at his civil fraud trial hours before his Fox News town hall? No, oh, it is not breaking news. It is the old news. Okay. So Trump had a gag order on a civil fraud trial in New York, as you guys know, because, you know, he was being Trump. And when you're being Trump, you sometimes are being too much Trump, and you're trumping out of turn. And when you trump out of turn, you end up, I don't know, causing the judge to get death threats. And that's kind of a faux pas, I would say. So the judge hit him with a gag order, right? Which is, of course, in my opinion, the worst thing you could do to Donald Trump. Unconstitutional, sir. How dare you? How dare you? Okay? But it's still pretty funny. It's especially funny because tonight you have a Fox News town hall with Donald Trump, a counter-programming against the Little Rhonda, Nikki Haley CNN debate. This is a jam-packed slammo night of political content. Campaign mania is back, folks. We are so back, and we are so in business. We got Chabad tunnels to start off the year. We got a white dude stuck in a vase doing Getting Over It in real life. And campaign mania is back and in action in a big way. Okay? But before we do that, let's talk about Twitch news. Okay? Talk about Twitch news for a brief moment. Because while all of that is happening, Amazon has taken yet another action against Twitch, which it sees as his ugly stepchild, in my opinion. Amazon to eliminate hundreds of roles across Twitch, Prime Video, and MGM Studios. Now, of course, what ended up happening is yesterday, a lot of Twitch staff found out that due to a Bloomberg News article that they might get laid off. And as far as I understand it internally, they were like, maybe, yes, no, I don't know. I mean, there was not great. It was a little bit of a mishandling, in my opinion, from corporate Twitch, but that's always the case. Usually that's how corporations operate. And this comes after, obviously, 400 staffers being laid off, and also Twitch Korea division completely shutting down because it was, according to the words of CEO Daniel Jebediah Clancy, a very, I mean, it was prohibitively expensive. That's the words he used, which is a separate thing, right? It doesn't seem great that you're shutting off an entire branch and shuttering your entire operations in a country, right? Doesn't seem great, but there are obviously different reasons for why that was happening. We covered that at the time. It is one of the reasons is of course Korea's like incredibly restrictive non-net neutrality, having laws around how much ISPs can charge you specifically. Right, the Korean thing was a specific reason. The Korean internet law that favors native streaming services and native internet service, like internet content creating platforms over non-native ones. It makes it really expensive and not worth it. Obviously, for Amazon, there is a cost to Twitch. I don't believe that they do market rate pricing for the server hosting, which is the most expensive part of live streaming, for those of you who don't know. But I assume that internally they calculate it in a way where they look at the numbers and they say, you know, this is not a profitable business, of course, but I'm assuming it has some tax benefits. And also on top of that, there is probably a long-term goal, live streaming being a profoundly important kind of content creation. Amazon probably wanted to get ahead of it and become the monopoly of live streaming, which it did. Amazon still to this day has a majority, overwhelming majority of the share of clicks when it comes to online live streaming, specifically in the gaming space. Okay? So, let's watch.
So Amazon is laying off hundreds of workers. This is across Prime Video and its MGM Studios divisions, as well as Twitch. Memos were sent to staffers this morning and obtained by CNBC.com. Our Annie Palmer there. An Amazon spokesperson did confirm those layoffs. The head of Prime and Prime Video and MGM saying in that memo that the company is making some of the cuts to prioritize investments for the long term and the success of the business. The memo goes on to say that they are looking to reduce investments in certain areas and then focus on more high-impact areas. Not just Prime Video, though, also 500 Twitch employees. Another memo obtained by CNBC this morning. Executives saying that we have to work to do and right-size our company. They say they regret that they need to share this news. It's a painful step, of course, and they're reducing headcount by just over 500 people across Twitch as well. Guys, this adds to years of layoffs. For Amazon, starting at the end of 2022, Amazon had its biggest round of layoffs, about 27,000 people across almost every part of that business. And that company shares slightly higher this morning. You can see layoffs are often seen as a way to increase some of that operating leverage and efficiency. Guys, back to you.
Boeing. All right, so before we get to the Boeing story, which I have some interesting pieces on, Dan Clancy also had a take on it. Where is it? Does anyone have that? Does anyone have the Dan Clancy statement on the layoffs? Talking about how this is, Twitch grew with projections and we grew the company to what we thought it would be at in the next 2 years, 3 years, and not where it's at right now, something along those lines. And, here it is. To the Twitch community, I wanted to send a short note to let you know that we've made the difficult decision to reduce the size of our workforce today. At this point in time, we are focused on communicating with our employees and providing them with clarity on how this impacts each of them. We greatly value the employees we're saying goodbye to today as people and professionals and are grateful for all their efforts to support all of you. I'm sharing a copy of the email that I sent out to the company this morning to provide more context on the decision. Please know that Twitch remains focused on serving our streamers and ensuring that this is the best place to live stream for many to come. I know that you will have additional questions about how this might impact the community, and I'll host the stream on Twitch on Thursday, January 11th at 1 p.m. Pacific time to speak with all of you. Okay? I found an article from January 2020 which says Twitch headcount at the time was like 1,500 globally. 500 being 35% of the current staffers means they're now going to be at about 1,000, if my math is correct, literally smaller than they were in 2020. But this isn't what I was, this isn't what I'm looking for. Oh, team. The team side is what I'm talking about. Here. Team. Today I have some incredibly difficult news to share. As you all know, we have worked hard over the last year to run our business as sustainably as possible. Unfortunately, we still have work to do to right-size our company. That is such a Silicon Valley. That is so tech speak right there. To right-size, not downsize, right size our company. And I regret having to share that we are taking the painful step to reduce our headcount by just over 500 people across Twitch. This will be a very hard day. Our service exists to empower communities to create together, and every single one of you has played a vital role in fostering our community and furthering that mission. The problem with a situation like this, okay, is that Dan Clancy is the CEO, but Dan Clancy is not the CEO of a company that is completely independent and can go out and take out additional loans in and of itself and continue keeping the company afloat as it tries to, I guess, find new revenue maxing strategies. Okay? He is the CEO of a company that is underneath another company that is, of course, Amazon. When Daddy Amazon, and I've said this so many times, Daddy Amazon says Twitch is not profitable, that's accounting, okay? When Daddy Amazon says, oh, Twitch is blowing up, you can hire now, and Twitch ends up hiring a bunch of people, okay? Then that's how it goes. And this isn't just Twitch. This is across the Amazon video sector. Amazon to lay off several hundred staff in Prime Video studios. Don't be defending Dan's dumbass. If you think that this is a defense of Dan and not simply what's what, and I have unconditionally talked about this and have gotten yelled at non-stop about this particular thing over and over again, okay, because it's just the truth. I don't know what to tell you. You're describing the entire tech sector, not just Amazon. Yeah, this is not me defending Dan. This is me explaining to you the truth. If you recall, a while ago when Kick first came out to the market, a lot of people said, Hassan, you don't know what you're talking about. Amazon doesn't profit from Kick, or Twitch doesn't profit directly from Kick. And I told you guys at the time a couple different things. Amazon runs AWS. It is the most costly part of Twitch's runway, okay? Twitch as a live streaming platform, just like Microsoft tried to do a live streaming platform and failed, Mixer, has costs, okay? The most significant cost of Twitch is live web hosting. This is a profoundly costly endeavor regardless. There is like a built-in cost to it, okay? No matter what happens. Now, that cost of keeping the servers alive is, of course, that cost of keeping the servers alive and making sure that they don't, like, catch on fire like they have in the past, and ensuring that that still works on the back end, all of that is very expensive, okay? It is. That is probably one of the most expensive parts of live web or any kind of live streaming platform, okay? Now, having said all of that, of course, Amazon already has all of that, right? Amazon already, this is their main bread and butter. Amazon makes a lot of money off of AWS, their web service, okay? Half of the internet runs on AWS. The other half runs on Microsoft's web service and Google as well. But I believe Microsoft is the second biggest, right? And AWS, Azure is the second biggest. AWS is the biggest. Azure is the second biggest. And then I guess Google. So Google Cloud is the third. So having said all of that, it's a very important business for Amazon. What they could technically do, like I said, if they wanted to tomorrow, decide that Twitch is the most profitable live streaming platform on the planet, they could just simply massage the numbers and go, the cost of the live web hosting to Twitch from Amazon is $0. If they were to decide internally in their accounting that you are no longer technically paying for web service, Twitch would be the most profitable company on the planet. Okay? Maybe not on the planet, but one of them. It would certainly be the most profitable live streaming software, live streaming service out there. Now, this is why I say it's all a matter of internal accounting. Depending on how much Amazon, the main company, decides Twitch costs them, okay, they decide whether Twitch is profitable or not. Kick, on the other hand, does not have the same exact approach to it because Kick is using AWS to even have a website. Okay? You've been saying this ever since Congress asked Bezos about Twitch and he had zero clue what it was. Yes, and I was very happy back then. And the reason for why I did not want Jeff Bezos to know what Twitch is because I don't want him to look into it and then find out that it's like not exactly a great business for them. Okay? You still got to do intercompany eliminations. It's a true economic activity that enters and leaves the conglomerate. So yes. So internally, there's two different kinds of accounting, right? So you have the I guess opportunity cost of like Amazon's limited web hosting service and how much bandwidth they're giving to Twitch versus whether or not they sold it to an outside company, that web service. Okay? So that would be probably judged on market rates. Okay? So there's an internal cost, like an actual cost of running this service, which would be like whatever it is. After all the sunk costs, whatever it is that is like whatever fraction of the upkeep of the servers that Twitch is costing Amazon for just simply existing versus the actual cost of it when judged as though Twitch is an outside entity coming to Amazon to purchase AWS. There's a second part of this, though. The second part of this is, of course, the white glove production back-end service that Twitch also, or Amazon also sells. Some of those are Twitch staffers, okay? Some of those people that are working on, for example, when Kick purchased AWS, there's a second part of AWS called IVS, okay? IVS is the bones, the skeleton of a live streaming service. Some of those guys that work at Twitch directly work on IVS. So technically, Amazon is making money off of selling basically the skeleton of Twitch to other companies as well. Okay? It's like a white label. It's a white label product. Okay? How do you know all this shit? What do you mean? This is like all readily available things that you can find out on your own. IVS is the technology that Amazon bought Twitch to integrate into AWS as a service. Yes. So, having said that, it's another way that Twitch makes money. It's another way that Twitch makes money for Amazon. Twitch also, as a, I guess, separate entity under the Amazon umbrella, generates revenue for Amazon by obviously giving a subscription percentage from every subscriber that subscribes at the top of the hour to my channel, for example, to avoid the ads at the top of the hour, the 3-minute ad break. They take a percentage of that, right? Another way that Twitch makes money or for Amazon, generates revenue for Amazon, is when a streamer like myself runs ads at the top of the hour. They take a percentage of that too. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free, right? That's how it works. Then there's obviously like other contracts and things of that nature. I'm sure like there's sponsorship deals across the board on the platform, yada, yada, yada. 34MKD50, thank you for the 50 gifted subs. I was just giving an example. Here's the 3-minute ad break now, by the way. It seems really easy for them to just adjust stuff to make zero profit on paper just like the rest of Amazon. Of course. That's one of the many benefits of... That is one of the many benefits of being a massive company that has successfully implemented horizontal and vertical integration. That's how it works. You can transfer pricing from one side to the next. It is the same principle behind Amazon having its own delivery service. Okay? That's it. That's how this works. Plus, Twitch can act as a marketing platform for Amazon. It adds an additional benefit to subscribing to Amazon Prime. Yes, but I don't think there's a big enough ask. Like, I think Prime works in the opposite direction. Prime makes Twitch a better platform for content creators because it offers a tremendous amount of revenue, right? Rather than vice versa, where people are getting Amazon Prime because they want to get a Twitch Prime as a consequence. Like, I don't think it works that way. Transfer pricing within a company is not just something you can just arbitrarily set for subsidiaries, though a consistent arm's length approach is generally required by regulators. I laugh at the notion that there is like some serious regulatory oversight here, but you're right. On paper, there is, of course, some level of regulatory oversight. You're right. It's just, is there enforcement of such regulatory oversight? I do not know. Now, there is some supposedly regulatory oversight coming to Amazon specifically as it pertains to its monopolies from the likes of Lena Khan. When you say U.S. regulators, ? There are some U.S. regulators that are currently working specifically on Amazon. Perhaps that is one of the reasons as to why they are doing more internal accounting to ensure that there is that they're making all of their video divisions more profitable on paper. Okay. I did this for a software company in Canada. It's essentially a facade law. Regulators work with the entity to make it work, so it's fine and dandy for public scrutiny. Yeah. So, so maybe Amazon is just reporting that Twitch is losing money to meet regulatory appearances, but in reality, it does make money hand over fist because I pay myself. Isn't getting anyone into debt. So, let's get back to the Dan Clancy. Now that I described this, let's get back to the Dan Clancy statement. I know many of you are wondering why this is happening. Over the last year, we've been working to build a more sustainable business so that Twitch will be here for the long run. And throughout the year, we have cut costs and made many decisions to be more efficient. Unfortunately, despite these efforts, it has become clear that our organization is still meaningfully larger than it needs to be given the size of our business. Last year, we paid out over $1 billion to streamers. So while the Twitch business remains strong, for some time now, the organization has been sized based upon where we optimistically expect our business to be in 3 or more years, not where we're at today. As with many other companies in the tech space, we are now sizing our organization based upon the current scale of our business and conservative predictions of how we expect to grow in the future. This decision, while incredibly difficult and painful, is necessary to ensure that we can continue to serve our streamers sustainably without impacting their ability to support their careers on Twitch. Part of what makes this so difficult is the passion that so many of you share for the Twitch community and the hard work you've put into serving our streamers. I know you are all wondering what this decision means for you and your role moving forward. While we know it is better to hear about the impact face to face, we realize that it is more important to share the news with the affected individuals as quickly as possible. With that in mind, here's what you can expect within the next hour. If your role is affected by this decision, if you live in the US, Canada, Brazil, Mexico, or Singapore, in the next few minutes, I will send an email to this group of people sharing the unfortunate news that your position is being eliminated. Okay, well, that's crazy. Afterwards, being eliminated, unfortunate news that your position is being eliminated, important details on everything we're doing to support you through this transition. Afterward, your org leader will reach out directly via email with more specific information about your severance package and to give you the option to speak with them individually. These one-to-one meetings will take place over the next few days. If your role is affected by this decision and you're in any country not listed above, in the next few minutes, you will receive an email from Lauren Nunez with more specific information on the process and the next steps, which vary by country. For everyone who's leaving Twitch today, I know how important it is to say goodbye to your colleagues, so you will retain access to Slack and your email until 1 p.m. Pacific. If you are in Singapore, you will have access until 12 p.m. local time. Jesus. If your role was not affected, I will send another email to this group confirming your role was not affected by this decision. Afterwards, I plan to host regional all-hands throughout the day so you can hear from me directly. Details on the time of these sessions and calendar invites will come through later this morning. I also want to acknowledge how disappointed I was yesterday that this information leaked. I'm sorry for all the anxiety that it caused over the last several hours. Our hope was that you all would hear this from us this morning and very quickly understand how this impacted your role, and we were unfortunately not able to accelerate the timeline, which I know is very frustrating. I want to close with my sincerest apologies to everyone who is leaving Twitch. You are some of the most talented, committed, and creative people I've ever worked with. Thank you for everything you've done to help us build Twitch and foster our community. We are all here because we believe in the power of Twitch and our community, and while our mission is far from over, right now our focus is on taking care of each other. I'm always grateful for how well you all support and show up for one another during our best and most difficult moments. Dan. So talented, but not enough to pay you, though. My company cut off access while people were in the call, finding out they were laid off. So at least they did that. Interestingly, apparently they didn't do due diligence with advanced public notice of mass layoffs, and people will still be on payroll for 2 months, or Twitch broke the law. Wasn't this on the Warren report? Aren't those supposed to be heads up for incoming layoffs? Technically, they will keep everyone to be laid off on payroll for 2 more months to comply with Warren. Does that mean in 2 months we see Twitch or Amazon with layoffs dated around this time? The way these are presented online has made me think they're a heads up for people getting laid off. Is this not true? I mean, I'm sure that it's like probably packaged as their severance, right? Yeah, that's usually how it works. Like you get put on payroll. They're like the most layoffs are always awful. The most, I guess, like the best, most ethical type of layoff that you can engage in is the voluntary severance package layoffs, but that's obviously very costly to the company. So most people don't want to do that, where they will see areas that they need to significantly downsize in, and they will go to all of the workers in said areas and say, hey, if you leave now, we'll pay basically 6 months of your, depending on what the severance package looks like. They make this internal calculation. 2 months is usual, but in the most ethical layoffs that happen, and I have friends that have literally gone through this in the tech sector, where they will go up to you and they say, hey, there's going to be downsizing occurring here, and we want to give you the option to voluntarily leave now. And if you voluntarily leave now, we will pay you. We'll pay you like 3 months, 4 months, or maybe even up to 6 months of compensation, like as though you have a job here for 6 additional months, right? You stay on payroll for 60 days, and if you don't got a job, you get a severance at that point. You are still a non-functioning employee to go with the Warren Act. Etsy's layoffs are really generous when compared to other layoffs, so were Spotify's. Yes. The Warren Act federally requires 2 months, some states 3 months. That is very rare in the industry. Yes. It depends on which company is doing this. I'm not going to reveal it, but it was a very big ISP. Jesus, there's not that many of them out there, but that's what has happened to some of my friends before. So yeah. I know this is slightly off topic. Being a college student and seeing all these layoffs makes me incredibly nihilistic for my own future. I mean, yeah, welcome to the world of graduating out of college post 2008. Let's be real. Let's be really real, okay? I graduated college in 2013. This was like, this has been, there was like a brief moment of like, I guess, normalcy in between that time frame. But when I first graduated, it was like, the situation was dire. Okay. I graduated from college in 2013. The economy had not recovered to, the economy and the job market was not looking that great. When I graduated. So in 2013, does that mean you're 35 now? I don't know where you learned how to do math, but no, I'm 32, about to be 33. Offering the choices to leave is pretty common in B2B enterprise software companies in my experience. A guy I know just takes everyone he can and gets paid double for 6 months at a time. Yeah. In my opinion, a lot of these layoffs are follow the leader companies, see others doing layoffs, and they think they have to. The phrase, as with other tech companies, suggests that has to be the case here. You know, there was a point in time when I used to look at something like this and go, that's crazy. You're out of your mind. And then I found out that that is actually unironically precisely what happens. That is not even a joke. Especially when it's a company as large as Amazon. And yes, on the tech side, in many circumstances, that is precisely what's going on. It's not even a joke. Monkey see, monkey do is a matter of scholarly work in this field. We've read the research from that one Stanford professor who basically spent his entire career talking about the layoff meta in Silicon Valley. Like, tech layoffs oftentimes work on that principle. You would think that it's not the case, or you could technically say, well, there is a lot of bullshit jobs in the tech sector. That much is true. However, having said that, most white-collar jobs are bullshit. That is just the reality. Layoffs are the quickest way to boost profitability. If your competitor boosts profits, you have to do the same to keep up. Yeah. And I've talked about this more broadly. The entire purpose of downsizing is called, in corporate speak, it's called the reduction or elimination of redundancy or the improvement of efficiency. It's all done at the behest of maxing out profits. You got 7 people doing a job, you reduce the workforce down to 3 people, and you make the 3 people that are remaining do the job of the 7 people that left. And you can get away with doing that in a lot of circumstances because, let's be real, the 7 people, including some of you in this chat right now, are doing like, what, 1 to 4 hours max of like real work at your place of business. If you're in a white-collar job, that's just the truth. It's just the truth. Like, you're doing 1 to 2 to 3 hours of real, actual work. If you, like, cracked an Adderall and just sat there and white-knuckle through the actual work you need to get done for the day, you're doing, like, 1 to 2 to 3 hours of work maximum on a really busy day. The rest of the time, you're just dicking around. You're out of your mind, man. We're talking most white-collar work, okay? Now, having said that, that's perfectly valid, okay? That's perfectly valid. They're paying for me to be available during those times. Pretty much, yes. I love when people say you're out of your mind. Well, they're probably watching me, cleaning their house, but technically they're on billable hours, okay? If they work from home. Or they got me in one ear, okay, at the place of work. They're listening, so they can't technically watch, right? While simultaneously, they had the Excel spreadsheet up every single time the manager walks by, and you're just over here, sitting here being like, yeah, dude, you're crazy. How dare you say something like that? That's normal. It's a normal thing. That's a perfectly valid thing to do, okay? The reality is that you shouldn't even have to sit in that place of work for that time frame regardless. Many of this is just ridiculous. You don't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that. The service sector doesn't work in that same way. Many of you are in the service sector, or many of you, for example, are delivery drivers, and you're listening to me on the job as well, but technically you're actually doing more work than the amount of work required for the white-collar professional for that specific time frame that they actually have to do work. You're like literally on your feet in some regard. If you're in the service sector, or if you're like in retail, like you're even if there are no customers coming into the shop, you're still on your feet. And you're still cheating it a little bit, and you're listening. Service sector generates more joules per hour of work. Yeah. Now, this is not about like what your contribution is. This is more so about what kind of value you generate for the company. And the value you generate for the company is always going to be more, regardless of if you're working 1 hour out of that day or all 8 hours of that day. What you are getting paid is always going to be less than the value that you actually generate on paper for that company. Okay? That's it. That's how it works. So it is what it is. Maybe find a more labor-friendly term than bullshit jobs is pretty lame to hear from a leftist. Bullshit jobs is actually from David Graeber. And I don't have an issue with bullshit jobs. I think most jobs are bullshit jobs. You just, you just get paid. It's a good thing. It's a commerce. It's a term literally coined by a leftist. Also, I do something that's barely a job. I sit online and talk to a camera. So let's not even get into that, okay? Lamau, is a currently free blue-collar worker? Most jobs are bullshit jobs? Yes. Here. Let's let David Graeber.
Bullshit jobs I define as a job where even the person doing the job secretly believes the job really shouldn't exist. But nonetheless, part of the conditions of employment is that you have to pretend that it does. It's important to distinguish between bullshit jobs and shit jobs. Mostly when you say bullshit jobs, people at first assume you mean jobs that just you don't really want to have. Jobs where they don't treat you well, jobs where they don't pay you well, jobs where you work under difficult or humiliating or onerous conditions. And most of the jobs that are shit jobs actually aren't bullshit jobs. Most of the jobs that oppress you are jobs like cleaners or ditch diggers or nurses, servants of various kinds who are mistreated. At least know they're doing something. Bullshit job is actually kind of the opposite of that. A bullshit job, you're often given a lot of money, you're treated very well, with a great deal of respect, often seen as the person in your family who most made something of yourself. But at the same time, you're secretly haunted by the knowledge that you're not actually doing anything, that if your job didn't exist at all, the world either would change in no way or even might become a slightly better place. This is one of the great mysteries of our time as far as I'm concerned, because we usually associate make-work, stupid made-up jobs with state socialism. In the Soviet Union, they used to say, well, we pretend to work and they pretend to pay us. They would make up jobs which are completely unnecessary. That makes sense because they had an ideology of full employment. On the other hand, capitalism, that's exactly the thing that isn't supposed to happen. A private firm would never hire someone and put out good money to someone who they don't actually need. But in fact, if you talk to people who work for large corporations, they do it all the time. How does that happen? I think part of it has to be explained by...
The whole 7 people could do the job of 3 people thing just shows that our workday work week is too long. Human productivity, especially mental labor, drops off pretty quickly throughout the day. 8 hours/40 hours is too many. 100%. 1,000%.
Political pressure. In a way, just as in the Soviet Union, there was a central directive saying we need full employment. They didn't say, therefore...
This is so clueless. Most jobs are necessary for society to function. Yeah, no, you're right, man. Yeah. No, you're so right. I assume Belt No Road, you are... I'm going to assume that you might be like too young to have actually worked in a real like corporate environment. Yeah, someone said, brother, I sell pop-up ads for dick pills. This topic exposes young chatter so much. And by the way, for the record, I don't have a problem with bullshit jobs. I think they should exist. It's great that it exists. It's busy work. It keeps people's minds occupied. Okay? It's like fake nonsense that we've created together. However, having said that, you should still be paid adequately for it. And you should have more free time. That's the point.
Damn, this guy's good.